Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Pastor Barry Carter and Ray Faith. They are from Hammer and Nails. It sounds to me like if you need your home fixed, people are aware of you. If you have the ability and finances to be able to meet that need, that's where we need more awareness. Am I hearing this right?
You heard that straight.
Okay. Okay.
That
Good.
is it.
I'm trying to pay attention.
You're doing good because we have all the clients we can use.
Yes.
But, we would love to help more people. We just can only take on so many.
What's involved with volunteering? How much are we committing to? Because I think people hesitate, like, oh no, what am I signing up for here? So let us know. What's involved in being a volunteer for Hammer and Nails?
Well, volunteer, it's what you want to commit your time to. If you want to come in, usually you come in start maybe at 8:30 in the morning, work till 2 or 3 in the afternoon. Bring a friend with you. And we can accommodate you in that area or do a weekend project where you come in for a weekend. Now, when I say weekend, I'm not talking Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're talking a Saturday, more than likely. So it's what you want to commit. You tell us what you want to commit. And the other thing that's great, too, you don't have to bring anything with you.
Really?
We have everything you need. All the tools, paintbrushes, rollers. So you don't have to bring, unless you're a guy that wants to bring your own tools and bring your own stuff, that's fine. Mm-hmm. But we have everything you need.
Are you looking for anybody with specific skills specifically?
Well, we have guys that volunteer every week after week after
Wow.
week. They do one half day a week. That's it. And they have rudimentary carpentry skills. And that suits us just fine. If you've painted before, that helps. Because if you do a sloppy job, we have to go in and fix it, which makes more work for us than we need.
Right.
So you don't have to be a professional finished carpenter to help us out. We do have some electricians that'll do some we don't do electrical, so we have to have a licensed, electrician come in now and then. So guys like plumbers and electricians, the high skill positions, they want to volunteer on an as needed basis. That's helpful.
Is there ever training?
No, we thought about doing a whole training program, but we have 4 paid staff, and 3 of us are part-time.
Yeah.
And we spend most of our time rounding up dollars, rounding up volunteers, and fixing houses.
And that takes the time.
That's it.
So if you have ever done anything to your home, which I think that includes all of us, at some point or another, you've done something to your home, take that skill and bring it on over. You don't have to be Chip and Joanna Gaines is what I'm getting at.
No. I'd love them to stop by sometime.
Yeah, wouldn't that be awesome?
Yes, it would.
Do a fundraiser.
Let's do a
for
fundraiser for you.
Yes, we would do a training session in the Civic Center with 10,000 people paying big money to see Chip and Joanna.
Let's work on that.
We've tried.
Okay. That's really an awesome idea. Who wouldn't go?
They're expensive to get.
Well, I'm quite sure.
Yeah. I mean, so we'd have to find a sponsor of the level.
They need to get a babysitter for their 5 children, first of all.
Well, they can hang with Pastor Barry. He's like a big kid at heart.
Okay. So Pastor Barry will babysit.
Yeah,
Chip and
thanks,
Joanna
Ray.
will come and do fundraising for you. I think we've got this all settled, guys. You can go home. We're done early. No, that's okay. But seriously, all kidding aside, you just need folks who are willing to pick up a paintbrush, pick up a hammer, and come on over, and you will show us which houses. Now, are there specific, do you have a plan of attack where you go after neighborhood by neighborhood, or is this whatever?
It's however order they come in. Most of our work, obviously, is in the cities because the housing stock is older, but we do all over the county. The one thing that kind of happens concurrently is our wheelchair ramp program. And that's a separate program, but it's the same people executing it.
Yes.
And so, depending on the severity of need there, that project can supersede other improvement projects. So we just have to balance what it is we could do. And ramps are expensive. They're about $100 a foot. And so they depend on funding probably more than a lot of our other projects. But when the people need a ramp, man, they need a ramp.
And again, we're talking about something that you don't think of unless it's on your radar.
Absolutely.
The day you need a ramp, they become incredibly important. But it's not something you think of, but I would think that was also an increasing need. As people age in place, they're going to need a ramp.
And there's no other way to get them. Medicare, Medicaid does not cover it. Most insurance, the vast majority of insurance, I haven't found one yet that does cover it. So you need a wheelchair ramp. You are on your own.
Yes.
And if you, like we had one guy we recently, he had a stroke 40 years ago, and he's had many since. Well, their financial situation's a disaster with his medical care. There's no way in the world they would ever be able to come up with the money for a ramp. So we did do a ramp for them, obviously. And not only is he happy, but his poor wife, who has been schlepping him around for 40 years, can finally get her shoulders replaced because she's, physically beaten by this whole thing. And how could you ever, what a hospital, this guy's going to the hospital, he's had 3 brain surgeries. They'll never, ever be able to, so what an impact it made in their lives. And we see that, and we know there's people like that out there still waiting.
And people with diabetes, too, who have had their foot cut off or leg cut off and need a ramp. And if you're under 62, there's nothing. There's no availability for anything.
Again, you do get to see some happy endings, though. So, I know you see heartbreaking stories.
Yeah.
But you get to see some really happy endings. Share some of those with us.
Well, I remember the first house I went to when I came on the job. I went back to Ray and I said, I can't do this. And I've been to third world countries.
Yes.
There was a woman, I went into her house. She was in Canton, had no locks on her doors.
Oh,
she was in her, I'm going to say mid-30s, late 30s.
What?
Yeah, had no locks on her doors. And
I thought you were going to say she was in her 90s.
No, I went up the steps and she had a little bell attached to her door. And I knew what that was. It was a bell that if somebody came up the steps, she'd hear that bell ring. And I went back to the office, and I was appalled by what I saw, the condition of the house. And I got the project manager. They went over the same day. They put locks on this woman's house. Now, that was a good ending. I wouldn't want my sister or my aunt or my niece living in Canton without locks. And then we had a ramp over in Masson, a lady who has missing a leg. Her daughter was taking her in the house, and we actually had a church donate a used wheelchair van, and we were able to provide them with a ramp and a van. Now, that was a huge blessing. And so those are the kind of things that just are really fulfilling to see.
Well, it's the thing about houses. They are always screaming for something to be done to them.
Yeah.
If you're a homeowner, there's always that list. And there's priorities on that list. But we're talking about some dire situations. I mean, locks on doors.
Yeah, no locks on the doors. Yeah.
Was she renting this place? No, you can't be a renter. You have to be a homeowner.
Yeah, she was an owner. Yeah.
So that, in some cases, then, people who are renting, you would maybe work with the owners of the property, or
we have nothing to do with those properties.
You are just working with
that
homeowners.
Landlord, that's his responsibility. He's making money off that property. Fix it up.
So,
it's your responsibility.
That makes sense.
They don't always do it, but that's their responsibility.
Yes. So, okay, well, fundraising seems to be the thing. Let's take our final minutes here and talk about ways that people can give to Hammer and Nails. Do you ever throw events and things like that, or you have any coming up?
We'll do our annual appeal soon, but that's a mail appeal, and you may or may not get that. But in February, date to be determined for sure, we do our Geezers and Guitars.
Oh, I like that.
It's a battle of the old guy bands. And these are guys who were in the bands in high school in the 60s, 70s, and even 80s.
They're really good
music. And they're still
music.
Playing together. Yeah. My brother Jim, who you may or may not know.
I believe I went to college with him.
Gosh, I am so sorry.
He was a really good friend.
Really?
Hilarious.
Well, we've
Loved
uncovered
Jim
a fact about
Fake.
Susie.
Yes.
She's not a real good judge of character.
But this is fun. He's still in his band?
Yeah, he still has a band.
Oh, my goodness.
And these guys still play together. And one of our former board president, Chris McBurney, he was a superintendent for Perry Schools, principal. He's still got his band.
Wow.
Larry Ford, a guy I went to high school with, he's still got his band. So we gather together 4 bands.
That's so cool.
They play a couple sets each, a couple songs each. And then the public at the Lincoln Theater votes on the winning band.
Yeah.
And it's fun because it's Geezers and Guitars. And it's these old guys rocking out. And, we know why they initially formed a band in high school. It was to attract the ladies, right?
Is that what it is? I thought they just were really, really good musicians and needed an outlet.
Really? Have you ever heard these guys? And now they just lucky to be able to stand on 2 legs, right? So
I love that these garage bands from the 60s, 70s, and 80s are still getting together.
Playing. Yeah. They're still playing.
Oh, my. So this will be in the Lincoln Theater.
In Lincoln Theater, late February.
Late February.
We'll get a date out later, but keep your eyes. And we need sponsors for that, too, because we have expenses. I mean, we have to get the theater, and we have to do publicity.
I imagine that this really fills up, though. I bet this gets a good
Last
crowd.
year was our first year. We had a decent crowd. And I think this year we should increase that by 50% because I am not kidding you. Everybody who went loved it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Loved it. It was fantastic.
It's a great idea. Where do you get ideas like geezers and guitars? You were sitting around brainstorming?
I'm the creative one. It's not my brother Jim, by the way. My brother Kevin was pretty creative. It's his birthday today. Yeah, he was born in 1957, passed away a few years back. The late, great Father Fate.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a pastor up at Little Flower. Now, he had ideas, but his ideas were always expensive. My ideas are kind of down to earth.
No, this seems easy to do.
Yeah, well,
And
it is.
Maybe there's somebody listening saying, hey, I've got my old guys. We could get
That'd
my
be
old guys
fantastic.
together.
We need some new bands. And, my brother plays in a band, and he does, but he's never had a creative thought in his life. So
I envision you having to have tryouts and people having to make the cut.
Oh, no.
Wouldn't that be something?
That would be something. What we'd do in that case is probably have 2 of these a year.
That'd be great.
Because it was so popular. I mean,
Yeah.
really. And we're looking at maybe doing we do a golf outing in the midsummer, and I'm looking at doing I'd like to do a Southern Gospel revival
Oh, yes.
in Stark County somewhere.
Say when.
Yes, I was been listening to Southern Gospel from some new performers, new acts,
Yep.
and oh my gosh,
It's cool again.
Oh, it is. And we need to bring it to Stark County.
Yes.
And, we are a Christian organization.
Let's talk about this. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's plan this because I bet you could get the light on board with that.
Well, I would hope so.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
Come
a
on
done
now.
deal. That's a good.
That's a-
I just
that
love
was a
having these
no-brainer.
these brainstorming sessions we have that happen to have microphones. I guess we're committed now.
Hey,
right?
you bet you are.
I love that. Can people, if they're just listening, saying, you know what, maybe I just want to give, like right now, and write a check. How do people give to you? Can they give online? Can they write a check and send it somewhere?
Yeah, they
Drop
can go
off?
online. And
Okay.
we're at www.hammerandnails, all spelled out, .org. And they can mail to us, 1404 7th Street Northwest, 44703. And, if there's a guy out there, a gal out there, a business out there that says, that Southern Gospel idea sounds great. We need a sponsor because these bands don't come from Alabama for free, So
Right.
if we say, man, I'd love to sponsor. I'd like to be the sponsor of that.
Yes.
It's going to be thousands of dollars. But, man, if you're going to donate to the community, go into charity, to be part of something like that uplifting, please give us a call. Our number is 453-6277. 453-6277.
You did that very well. But that is good seed money, as you say.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we've covered the gamut here, and I'm looking at the clock, so we're out of time, of course, but please come back. Let us know how all this is going. Please give Hammer and Nails a call. Again, 330-453-6277. Go to hammerandnails.org. Pastor Barry Carter, Ray Fate, thank you so much for what you do in our community.
Thank you, Susie.